Well, it seems it's silly season with comedy shows going on everywhere, which are supposed to be serious, more like comedy of errors, I think. Oh, it's getting a bit ridiculous, I must admit. Temperature says 15. I think it's lying. I've made some changes to the system, so hopefully you can hear me better. I won't know, of course, until I get home. So there'll probably be a comment somewhere about it. Right, yes. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rider Ramblings. It's chilly. It definitely is chilly. I've got the heated grips on. Because I've got my summer gloves on, because on the way back it's expected to be nearly 20 degrees, but although this is saying air temperature of 15, I think that was the temperature in the garage, and it hasn't settled down to here. Anyhow, getting back to the introduction, it seems that it's a bit of a comedy of errors. We've had the introduction, or supposed introduction, of the digital ID in the UK, and a petition with, I think it's nearly 3 million or thereabouts, saying they don't want it, to which of course Starmer, who is being advised by one Tony Blair, has said, stuff that, you're going to have it. Though there is talk that he might have to do something about that. Anyhow, we've had the political party conferences, which have been a bit silly, to say the least. I really do think they need to do something about politicians. And then in France, you've probably heard about this, the latest Prime Minister, Sébastien Lecornu, has resigned 8 hours after, or thereabouts, after he announced his cabinet. Seems that nobody likes the Minister of Defence that he appointed. So he was 26 or 28 days actually since Mr. Macron appointed him. It took him 27 days to organise a cabinet of ministers, and within about 8 to 10 hours of him announcing them, excuse me a minute, this thing's rubbing on my neck, he's resigned. This basically means, and this is, I mean, France is in a bit of a terrible state financially, but this basically means that all the ministers that he's appointed are going to get 28,000 euros for 8 hours work, if that. I'm not too sure how many ministers he appointed, but you can probably guarantee it's somewhere between 250,000 and 500,000 that's been wasted by this little exercise. As I say, this has caused a real problem, because the budget financial thing is supposed to be put before Parliament, French Parliament should I say, tomorrow I think. I think it's tomorrow or Thursday, I can't remember. It's certainly within the next 48 hours. And this is how the system works. And then it's supposed to be debated, I think it's on the 14th. And passed into law or whatever there or shortly afterwards. Now, last year we didn't get a proper budget because we had prime ministers coming and going, and so there was a default budget just in case these things happen. There is a default system for them, and this year it looks like it's going to be a completely default. Sorry, the person behind wants to marry me. Oh well, never mind. So it looks like we're not going to get a budget this year, which means that they won't be able to deal with the deficit in any shape or form. And the deficit is pretty huge. It's about the same as UK, but without a budget, they just can't do anything about it. Not a thing. Which is a bit of a problem. Now you can probably see the ABS flashing. I did take the sensors out and clean them. They were clean, but I did clean them and so on. I didn't take the wheels off, but it basically, because it's doing this, it looks like I'm going to have to. Let's just get rid of that idiot behind. But it looks like I'm going to have to, because what I did do is I put a Q-tip in, saying thank you to the lorry driver who waited for me. I put a Q-tip soaked with brake cleaner into the hole and started to try and clean the ring. It was filthy, but by the time I'd finished it, this is on the rear, but by the time I finished it was relatively clean for just sticking a Q-tip in the hole with brake cleaner on the end and cleaning it. I didn't do the front, so I think that's going to be the next one that I do, is I shall do the same on the front, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to have to take the wheels off and clean them. The problem is I don't have a jack to support the front of the bike. I don't have a jack to support the front of the bike to take the front wheel off, so I'm going to have to go and invest in a jack or something like that. Somebody has a sort of little stand thingy, which I might get. I have a little stand thingy that I might get, which is more secure than than just putting a trolley jack underneath and just wind the stand up. I've got a motorbike on the right hand side. So anyhow, I shall do something with that. Yes, never mind. So, what are your thoughts on the idiocy that is politics today? The various different, oh grief, what have we got going on here? Rush hour, and they decide they're going to block the road. Okay, I know it's quiet here, but you just turn right at those traffic lights and it's an absolute nightmare down there this time of day. Never mind. Yes, at least the roads are relatively clean. Oh, talking about that, down where I go walking every morning, I used to go running, but I've done my knees in and hips. I'm now actually walking it. There's a road with a large number of potholes, which are called nid de poule in French. And so instead of filling in the potholes, they put a sleeping policeman there. Now there's probably 10 times as much tarmac to create this sleeping policeman, which is about 2 meters in length and about 1.5 meters in width or so. And there's probably, I'd say, way more than is needed to actually fill in the potholes. But it seems that stupidity reigns, and stupidity reigns. And we've got to have a sleeping policeman instead of fixing the potholes, which will, one of them is actually pretty deep and will certainly take out a cyclist if they're not paying attention, and maybe even a small 50cc scooter or something. It's it's stupidity that they have in France for priority à droite. Instead of actually putting some paint on the road and a give way sign, they spend probably 10 times the money on sticking all these damn things in, whereas some paint on the road and a give way sign would probably cost what? Would last probably, well, the give way sign is supposed to last for 40 years. Not sure how long the paint will last, but it's certainly going to be a lot cheaper to do that than stick these bloody sleeping policemen on. Sorry, I'm having a nice rant at the moment, so we'll see what's what on that. As you can see, the trees are starting to change colour, the leaves are starting to go a little bit yellow. It's 8 degrees this morning, I think. Yeah, 8 degrees this morning. But we're going to have 20 degrees this afternoon, hence the summer gloves. I do have winter gloves actually in the top box, but it does make life a bit difficult because you've got to have all the vents and so on closed on the bike, and I've actually got the liner, sorry, not on the bike, on the jacket. I've got the liner in. When I come back this afternoon, I'm going to be too hot. That's guaranteed. I'm going to miss these lights, I think. I've done quite well for lights today, I must admit. Let's see how many idiots we get. Right, anyhow, thank you very much. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.